What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Over Redbull. And today we've got a huge episode. The SEC has officially dropped its lawsuit against Ripple, otherwise known as XRP, but two questions remain. What does this mean for XRP, and what does this mean for the entire crypto space? Let's go ahead and break it all down. But before we get started, if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give a 5-star rating, it is much appreciated. So go ahead, pop open that Red Bull, and let's go. Now, for those of you who might not be fully caught up, let's rewind a bit. The SEC initially sued Ripple Labs back in December 2020, claiming that XRP was an unregistered security and that Ripple had illegally raised a whopping $1.3 billion through its sale. This lawsuit sent shockwaves through the crypto space, leading to XRP being delisted from major exchanges like Coinbase, a steep price drop, and a massive cloud of regulatory uncertainty hanging over the entire industry. Ripple, however, fought back hard, arguing that XRP is not a security and pointing out inconsistencies in the SEC's approach to crypto regulation. Fast forward to 2023, a landmark ruling by Judge Torres declared that XRP was not a security when sold on secondary markets, meaning transactions on exchanges didn't violate security laws. This was a partial victory for Ripple, but the case wasn't fully settled as the SEC still had claims against Ripple's executives. Now, as of the latest developments, the SEC has officially dropped the remaining charges, bringing the entire legal battle to a close. Now, before we get into why exactly the SEC dropped the case, what does it mean for XRP in the crypto market, and what crypto regulation might look like moving forward, let's go ahead and hear from the CEO of Ripple himself.
As many of you know, just over 4 years ago, the United States SEC filed its lawsuit against Ripple. I'm finally able to announce that this case has ended. It's over. Sitting here today and reflecting on 4 years ago, it seems very clear to me that this case was doomed from the start. In so many ways, it was the first major shot fired in the war on crypto. I truly felt like I knew then that Ripple was not only on the right side of the law, but I felt that we were also going to be proven to be on the right side of history.
It really, I think, sends an ominous sign for innovation around cryptocurrency in the United States. Picking winners in general has not been something the U.S. government should be in the business of doing.
I think the judge realizes this is not just about Ripple. This will have broader implications. As Mary Jo White, the former head of the SEC, has said publicly that she views this as a dead wrong, and the SEC is dead wrong on this decision.
Ripple is the first company with the resources, determination, and grit to fight back against the agency's overreach. And today, this journey finally concludes. Today is a victory and a long overdue surrender by the SEC. The SEC, under Chairman Gary Gensler, went after the whole industry, using the same arguments they used against us. They weren't out to protect investors. They were out to intimidate and terrorize. The regulator, whose primary purpose is to protect investors, went all in on a non-fraud, victimless lawsuit and wiped out $15 billion of value from innocent XRP hoarders. The SEC was the market manipulator. The SEC wasn't seeking justice. They were seeking to win a case at any cost. Forces inside our government aligned with the SEC and embarked on a campaign of debanking anyone associated with the crypto industry. This was lawfare, a war of legal terror. Fortunately, the judge rebuked the SEC multiple times in this journey. First, for lacking a, quote, faithful allegiance to the law. The SEC was sanctioned in our case for discovery abuses, and the pattern was repeated in other crypto cases.
Well, let's just say they're trying to confuse you.
We won then on every critical legal point, proving that the digital asset XRP is not a security. That is now the law, and those wins have laid the groundwork for policymakers to adopt a set of rules for crypto that are in line with nearly a century of securities law. With today's news, the war on crypto has ended in defeat for those who turned our own government against a technology and an entire industry. I'm heartened that we have paved the way for other industry players to see the value in not backing down, and for others to use our legal playbook to fight back. We are now closing a chapter in crypto history. I think we're all stronger for our prior litigation successes and today's landmark victory. Progress is worth fighting for. We won multiple pro-crypto victories at the ballot box last year. It's time to make the US the crypto capital of the world. Thankfully, we have new leadership in executive and legislative branches of our government. That leadership is actively seeking a rational and constructive way forward on crypto. Let's make the most of this. This is an incredibly promising moment. Let's come together. Let's leave the tribalism behind. Let me make it clearer that my main message, what Ripple's main message today is about gratitude. It's gratitude to everyone who stood by us, to every Ripple employee, to the incredible legal team here at Ripple, led by the best chief legal officer in the business, Stu Alderodi. Gratitude certainly to the XRP family, to our customers, to our partners. Thank you. We couldn't have won this battle without all of you being behind us and working together. I truly believe we all agree there's immense opportunity with the largest economy in the world finally taking a pro-crypto and pro-innovation approach to build this technology in order to solve real-world problems for people around the planet. This was a fight Ripple never wanted, but one we knew we had to win. And today, emphatically, we have. Thank you.
Congratulations to Ripple, and in my opinion, this has been a long time coming, and the whole crypto world can finally put this behind us. So why did the SEC back off? Well, after the judge's ruling on XRP sales in secondary markets, the SEC case lost significant momentum. If the SEC continued fighting, they were setting even more legal precedents that could work against their regulatory enforcement approach. Moreover, Ripple wasn't backing down. They had the financial resources and the legal backing to continue the battle in court. There's also the political angle to consider. With the US government under increasing pressure to establish clear crypto regulation, the SEC's aggressive enforcement-first strategy is being questioned. Lawmakers and industry leaders have been pushing for a regulatory framework that fosters innovation rather than stifling it with lawsuits. By dropping the case, the SEC might be signaling a shift in its strategy, possibly preparing to focus on different aspects of the crypto space, such as stablecoins or decentralized finance. Now that the lawsuit is behind Ripple, what's next for XRP? First off, we've already seen a positive market reaction. XRP has surged in price, and some major exchanges that previously delisted XRP are now relisting it. The removal of legal uncertainty means institutions and developers can feel more confident using the XRP ledger for payments, remittances, and other financial applications. But let's zoom out a bit. This isn't just a win for Ripple, it's a significant moment for the entire crypto market. The SEC's case against Ripple was one of the biggest crypto lawsuits in history. Now that it's over, other projects facing similar scrutiny, such as those involved in staking or token sales, might have a stronger defense. If XRP isn't a security, how many other tokens could benefit from the same legal argument? The case has weakened the SEC's ability to claim that most cryptocurrencies fall under its jurisdiction, and that could influence ongoing and future legal battles. So what happens now? With this case closed, we might see a push for Congress to finally step in and establish clear regulation for digital assets. Right now, the industry is operating in a legal gray area, with different agencies like the SEC and CFTC making conflicting claims about which crypto falls under their purview. There are already multiple bills in the works that aims to clarify how crypto should be regulated in the US, and this case could accelerate those efforts. Meanwhile, the SEC isn't going anywhere. They might pivot to targeting different areas of the crypto space, such as stablecoins, lending platforms, or decentralized finance protocols. But one thing is clear, this lawsuit's outcome has made it harder for them to apply blanket security laws to cryptos without stronger legal backing. One thing's for sure, the crypto landscape just got a lot more bullish. XRP is free from legal uncertainty. Ripple has proven that fighting the SEC is possible, and the broader industry has one less regulatory headache. This could be a major inflection point for the crypto in the US, but what do you think? Does this ruling mean we're moving towards clearer regulation, or is the SEC just going to come after another big player? To keep the conversation going, send me an email to cryptooverredbull@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter @DeFiSean, or check out my YouTube channel, Crypto and Cause Investing. But that will do it for today's podcast, and until next time, trade safe.